Mr. Barber will take you from here, and I'll be back in about 10 minutes to grab you again.
All right.
Hi. How you doing?
Hello.
Good.
One more?
Yep.
All right.
Also big group.
All right. My name is Mike Barber. I'm manager of dispatch operations. Are you familiar with dispatch?
Yes.
Not really?
In bad times.
Yes.
Okay. So what a dispatcher does is he's planning flights A to B, trying to get them there safely and on time. However, when we try to do this, there's other obstacles in our way, so environmental conditions play a part in that. The dispatcher will plan the flight, plan the route, plan the flight level, plan the fuel load, weigh maintenance items or any other issues that might be on the flight, and then make sure it's planned according to FAR's according to regulations. The things that inhibit us or hurt us a bit are we have thunderstorms, snowstorms, volcanic ash, hurricanes, typhoons, solar events,
Sandy.
earthquakes, sandy, obviously that was a big deal. So we have all these events that are more on the major side. Then we have other ones where you have a little bit of wind coming from the wrong direction, and the airport can't handle it, so we have a reduced rate. We have San Francisco. Oh, there you go. That's the next I was going to mention, San Francisco. All of a sudden you have a ceiling that's 2,500 feet, and they say, we need a program. We have to restrict the rate to 30 aircraft an hour versus 45. And it's just the way it works. I mean, ATC says we can't see the traffic, so because we can't see it, we can't have as much traffic lane. So it's pretty simple. It's done for safety. Even though it frustrates you that it happens, it's that's really the bottom line. I have a display up here, and I thought I'd show you this. We have there's a display that you can pull up that's available to the public, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with the OIS page. And this is basically an ATC advisory page. So if you're flying on any given day, you can pull this up and kind of get an idea of what's happening or what's going on at the airport now. So for here, I should go back one page. So here we show all the national programs are out there. So when we talk about ground delay programs, that's what this is referring to, ground stops, delay information, and then any type of airport issues. So right now we have JFK that is showing a ground delay program and shows 20Z to almost 3Z due to security with a 45-minute average delay and a 38 rate. So when we say, well, it's 20Z, I don't know if you're familiar with the Z time. For Chicago, we're about 6 hours difference, so what that means for us is 1400 is when it began. And the East Coast would be 1500. For this one, because it's security, we look down here and we see the reason for it is VIP movement. And they've been taking 30-minute delays on the departure, but now they have a negative there, which means it's starting to reduce. So, but they're going to be taking so much for delays throughout the day. When we
Like the president or something? Yeah, they'll show.
Yeah. So as a result, whenever he's traveling, we take delays. What we do as a precaution for that is we plan additional hold fuel if we're going to the same airport he's going to, because we've had it early on where we had some fuel in there, meaning some extra, but it wasn't enough and we're diverting. So we're trying to prevent that. So if he's going to a certain station with an hour's worth of extra holding fuel, so that we can hang out and not have to divert and be able to get in once he's on the ground and out. So here in the next display, we show a 38 rate throughout the evening and then going up to a 50 rate after that. So we have traffic that's in excess of what they can handle. In this case, just showing
United, or is that all airlines?
It's all airlines. It's all traffic combined that are part of this, and it's segmented out with the colors. But 38 rate, we want to, there's 54 aircraft that are due to land there. So what happens? They get rolled over into the next hour. So when sometimes you're wondering, why am I getting delayed? It's not always obvious. Most of the time you look at the Weather Channel or some form of weather and you say, oh, there's thunderstorms or snowstorms or something there. And this one's a little more hidden, but this page would help you to discover that. So, and here, if we can, we have air traffic control coordinators that are dispatchers that act as liaisons between dispatch and ATC. So if we're hearing word that we believe the president's leaving earlier, can we get this rate lifted, maybe the last half hour or something, to improve that rate and reduce our delays? So we have somebody that will advocate that for us and then try to improve our times and improve our reliability. So here's an example of one of the dispatchers that's working right now and the amount of flights that he has that he's watching. Dispatcher is the point of contact for the flight crew. So if they have any kind of en route emergency or issue, they'll contact the dispatcher and dispatcher work accordingly. If we need to get maintenance in a conference call or medical, we will do that in order to help the flight, help the passenger.
So, are you guys split like they are in planning? Do you have some that just do Continental and some that just do United?
We're still separated. We still have different equipment. We're still trying to get that blended together.
So on the floor, like where they?
We're actually on the opposite side.
Okay.
Because as you get to the bridge and the main area, you'll see dispatch will be on both sides. You'll have the management in the middle.
Okay.
We're still trying to get together. We have the same phone system. We have the same weather. So it's one of these slow migration processes. We'll get there and we'll all be the same, but it's...
All the stations system-wide, both domestically and internationally. We do that through a program called the DSTG. Looks like this. So the ramp service employee will go print that out. He'll take that to the airplane, and those are the loading instructions he uses or she uses to load the aircraft. Our primary tool is called SmartLoad. It's a user interface. It gets all its data from United, and it gets the passenger data from our passenger service system called Shares. You see they have different color logic. Obviously, green is good. Red is an indication that the load planner needs to take some type of action. In this particular case, the flight is out. The ramp service employee is not finalized their loading instructions or the DSTG, so the planner will call the station and say, hey, we need a final on flight 236 from the ramp side. So the radio person, and hopefully within a couple of minutes that red will tell you. Within SmartLoad, we have what's called Loadmaster. We use that for our wide-body airplanes. It's an actual footprint of the cargo compartment of the airplane. And the load planner will click and drag on a piece of cargo. Take it off because already. But they'll drag it and they'll put it in a specific cargo pit position. And then when the ramp service employee validates, like he's done, usually there's a little asterisk here. 13 in the little asterisk. That indicates the centralized load planning. Pre-plan that piece of cargo specific to this location. And when the ramp service employee validates, yes, that's where I put it, they'll go into this DSTG or their loading instructions in United, and they'll remove that asterisk, and then they'll finalize the loading instructions. So when customer services finalize their passenger count and the ramp service employees finalize their DSTG, our system automatically goes through a series of checks. When all the checks pass, weights automatically get sent to the crew in the flight deck on a printer. If one of those 35 checks fails, the load planner will get an alert and it'll tell them what action they need to take to correct the problem. And once the problem is corrected, then we physically send the alerts. It's no longer automated. The system stops it from happening. So as you can see here, this is the balance portion of the airplane. Here's the minimum we can put in the back to keep it from going nose heavy. Here's the maximum in the back. We can keep it from going tail heavy. This is what's called the target. We try and plan a little past that. And as you can see this time, this is a very fuel efficient flight because we've got a nice aft center of gravity.
So when they fall on their tail, it's someone messed up in this department?
No, I would blame the ramp for our loading instructions.
Is that a 7?
This is a 1,000, 360, 260, 130. And we got, they're finalizing the DSTG.
Okay.
Anytime they make a change to this DSTG here, this screen flashes. And then we got 3 empty containers here. And then we have, this is a stack of you ever seen the cookie boards out there that have the cargo on them with the nets? This is an empty stack of those. So we send this to Narita. Obviously they're short on them, or Guam has too many. So we will move them that way. Last thing on here is, so the load planner is directed the ramp service employee where to load the bags. Bags at from position 23, which is right here. Done exactly what we've asked them to.